You're welcome to Let's Talk.
This is sit down and talk. We need to sit down and talk. How Nigeria corruption, how we're going to do our job. We want to stand up and say no to corruption. We're going to do our job because you're telling the system you are not just doing good for yourself or for the nation alone, you also do good for the future.
Boko Haram is an attack, it's a spiritual attack. It's a satanic attack on Nigeria. We must, if we come to recognize it, we will understand then how to look for the solution.
The Sovereign National Conference, how do we want to achieve that in our present system? We need to sit down and iron out how Nigeria should be governed.
Hello and thanks for joining us again on the program Let's Talk on the show. Now this is a program where we talk about issues, and like I always tell you, these issues have national and a lot of times also of international import. We're talking about issues that touch society at large. Now today we are going to be looking at Edo State. Actually, if you will recall, we did have a discussion not too long ago when the ACN candidate for the Edo State gubernatorial elections won with a landslide victory. You remember that interview, we talked about the fact that the people of Edo State really did speak with one voice, and they did vote not the party really but an individual, and they did identify with some of the things that they have seen the governor do. Now today we are very honored to have the Commissioner for Budget, Planning and Economic Development in Edo State, and he is Honorable Chris Ebare. You're very welcome to the show this morning.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and we are looking at Edo State. Our topic really says celebrating a new dawn in Edo State. Now, referring to what happened during the election, really, or rather, let's start this way. Now, what has your journey been so far? And I'm not just talking with the recent election win, but really since the governor, Adams Oshiomhole, began as governor in Edo State. What has been the journey so far in terms of his administration?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, let me thank you for giving me this opportunity to be in your studio this morning.
You're welcome.
And secondly, greeting from my comrade governor, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, the governor of Edo State. Well, I think what is happening in Edo State today is not a surprise to many Nigerians, considering the antecedent of our comrade governor. You know, as a labor man, you saw how he distinguished himself. As a governor of Edo State, in law we said, repisa loquito, the fact speaks for itself. I think from beginning, this is a man that came with a mission to Edo State. First and foremost, if you look at the cardinal point of our development today, you see that he is key purely on 4 areas. 1, education. Then 2, human capacity building. That is youth employment. Then 3 is environment. Then the 3rd one is the 4th one is the provision of infrastructural development. Okay. All these are the cardinal point on which the government, lean purely on its developmental agenda into. So from the inception of the administration, all these 4 cardinal points were taken one after the other to ensure that, first and foremost, if you want to attract any foreign investment, if you want to attract any investment to any particular area, you have to make provision, for the infrastructure. You have to open up the rural area. Okay. You have to give them you have to give the people a good education. You have to make sure that while all these amenities are being provided, the people, the youth in particular, are being gainfully employed. I think it's only in Edo State today we have what we call youth employment scheme, where over 15,000 youths so far, from the 3.5 years he has been in power, has so far been employed.
Okay.
All these he has inculcated into the local government sector. Remember, don't forget that in a state where you have, where the head is good, where the head is thinking right, definitely the other part of the body will be thinking right.
Okay.
When a governor is doing well, you have to equally look at the local level. So I think if that is why you see in Edo State, from the state to the local government, the same policy program is what we implement today.
Okay. Now, he did win, with a landslide victory. Reports actually did say that he had a 73.73% of the total votes that were cast. Now, what is your reaction to that victory? Did you expect that? Because I do remember that when the elections were going on the eve, rather, I saw a report where the governor was, he was not happy with what he was seeing. He said that there were some plans to rig elections and to carry out some frauds. However, he did win with a landslide. Now, what is your reaction to that? Did you expect that to happen in that way?
Thank you very much. We are actually expecting 90%.
Okay.
Yeah, we're actually expecting 90%, considering what the performance so far. Because in our state, we are a part of those that have been experiencing, that have experienced so far since 1999.
Okay.
When PDP was in charge of that state till 2008, before the Comrade governor took over in 2009, November. What we used to experience in Edo State was what is called earmark. They will give you a budget. They will tell you we earmark so billion for education.
For this, yeah.
We earmark so number of billions for infrastructural development. We earmark XYZ for potable water, and so on and so forth. But since the Comrade governor came into office, we, the Edo people, the ordinary Edo people in the streets, big and small, have been able to see IMAC. If you take a walk, and this IMAC, I'm talking of in terms of something you can see physically.
Okay.
You go to schools, you see the kind of structure we have, exactly the type you have in America, you have in Britain, and so on and so forth. You look at the desk, you look at the board, you don't need to be told. Even the little you have watched during the campaign, you will see even the little children, the people, when they will come out and start pouring their comium on the Comrade governor. If you go to if we talk in terms of infrastructural development, the road, because when these things are being built, Comrade will tell you, I'm not just building this road today just for us to use it for this 4 years that is in power, but I'm building it for posterity. You just need to take a drive around Benin City, the 3 Senatorial Zone, because there's no part of the state that what you saw in Benin that you will not see in Edo North and in Edo Central. The kind of model of school you see in Benin is what Benin City is what you are going to see in the Esan land. That's what you are going to see in Onwa and Esako land. The same thing with the youth, the same thing with the employment and environment. One of the biggest water storm, I can say, in this part of the country was built in Benin to deflood. I don't know whether you know Benin City very well. It's not possible for you to take through Ugbowo when it's raining to inside Benin City. But today you can drive freely. All these are things people are beginning to see. Go to the hamlet, go to the villages. You must see a red roof. Either you see a red roof, or you see a tile road, or you see people that are health centers, and so on and so forth. All these are the things, what the people see that inform them to say, look, this man, you don't even need to campaign.
I'm still talking with the Honorable Chris Ebare, who is the Commissioner for Budget Planning and Economic Development in Edo State. And we're still looking at celebrating a new dawn in Edo State. And we have been talking about some of the things going on in Edo State. And to, rephrase the question I asked earlier, with this new 4-year mandate, what are the plans of this administration to probably outdo what it has done in the past 4 years? What can the people expect, or what can they look forward to seeing or having in this administration for the next 4 years?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. First and foremost, the ongoing projects we are going to be completed within in the next 4 years. 2, we intend to, the Comrade Governor intend to really attract a lot of foreign investors to the state, though we have some of them that are already there right now. But within these 4 years, we actually intend to attract a lot of foreign investors to the state. You know the advantage. The moment you have a lot of foreign investors, we'll be able to create job opportunity for the Timi youths, both within and outside the state. Because presently, if you get to Edo State, it's not only Edo indigenes that are get employed. Then, in addition to that, we also want to open up more areas, particularly in the provision of housing for the citizens also. Because right now, there are a lot of areas that have been opened up, where a lot of investors through the PPP that's private partners investment, are coming into the states. And 2, the industries. Before we came into office, there were a lot of industry in Edo State. They were granted during the PDP administration. I think all these industries are part of the industries we intend to revitalize. If you could remember, we have a Bender Brewery that was granted by the PDP administration. We have fruit juice industry. We have Casavita that are already being worked on presently. We have other area, the other industry in the Edo North, where the manufacturing of the fertilizer also at Ikbeshi. So, and so many other things. So the provision of infrastructure also. There are some areas, there are some villages where we've not been able to get to. I think within these 4 years of the Congress administration, all these areas are going to be opening up. Okay. Don't forget that not too long ago, the World Bank voted Edo State as the best governance states in the whole country. I think in follow-up to that was when they gave Edo State some facility, about $225 million in tranches of 75, because that was under my ministry. Okay. Yeah. So with these resources and many more that are coming from international donors, we really intend to improve the living standard of the citizens of Edo State.
Okay. All right, let's get back to the victory of the governor in this election. Mm-hmm. People said a lot of things when the governor won. For a lot of people, it was a symbol of a symbol of hope for Nigerians as to what democracy really should be and all of that. And remember, this comes in the light of the fact that the rival candidates, you know, they had come to Edo State campaigning. The president himself was in Edo State campaigning. There was a lot of politicking going on, money politicking and all of that. But in spite of that, the people chose to identify with what they could see. Now, do you think that with this victory that it's like has ushered in a new era as to what it should really be?
Yeah, thank you very much, because I know you are talking about the election, the conduct of the election, and so on and so forth. Yes, I think at this point I must give a very big thank you to Mr. President Goodluck Jonathan, you know, for being very, very unbiased in terms of the conduct of the election. For the first time, you know, I have been in the mainstream, you know, since 1979. Wow. Yeah, as a young man in the secondary school then. So I have seen it all from then till 1999, because I'm a founding member of PDP, because ever before PDP was given the name PDP, the first meeting, the second, and so on and so forth, before our group was merged together and christened the name in 1998 as PDP. I was there. Okay. So we knew how it had been, how it used to be. Till when some of us felt, you know, bad with the way things were going, and left in 2007. Okay. Precisely. You know, we've never had it so good in terms of, you know, when you say you're conducting an election, a free and fair election. So for the first time, I have not seen any interference. Mm-hmm. There was no any interference. INEC did their job credibly. I think where they were trying to check their responsibility, I think my governor reacted immediately. I think with this, coupled with the zeal of the people to yearn for the fact that, yeah, we are ready to defend our vote to the end. You know, because we that are in the system, we know where this ring normally comes in. That from the INEC, from the security agency, or from those polling clerk. But all these things we're able to really take care of them. And the people, the will of the people also, to say, look, it's a high time we raise up our voice in this country and say, look, when you see good thing, you don't need to deny it. I think these are really the factors, because everybody stood their ground and said, no way, we have to make sure that this man, he has done well. There's no community, there's no village, there's no hamlet to get to that you will not see the handwriting of the comrade governor. We have to defend this vote to the end, to make sure that the vote that we casted counts. I think I must have to salute the courage of the people of Edo State. And particularly also, I must not fail here to also commend the effort of the military and the military and the policemen, because they were there for us. When I mean they were there for us, they were there for us. They made sure that there was no ballot box snatching, there was no shooting of guns. Several people came, several of our opponents came to the centers with, you know, with all kind of weapons. But we were not deterred, because we resolve that we make sure that the vote that I cast is counted. Okay. I think these are already the determination of the people of Edo State to see that, yes, the comrade governor is re-elected. The comrade governor is returned back to the office to continue the good work that he has started. I think this is really the turning point. That is why you saw what he had.
Okay, was there no concern about the fact that this large number of military was deployed, military troops were deployed to Edo State, alongside the police and all of that. It looked as if everyone thought that the elections were going to be so bloody. That was the reason why we had so much troops deployed there. Were there at some point any fears that was going to happen?
Politics is about education. That is educating the people. I think probably before then, we already had that. It was already obvious because the rumor was there that my comrade's opponent, the guy from PDP, General Ariawe, that is a retired general in the military, that they are going to bring military to the states to intimidate us, to intimidate our voters, to make sure that they did not come out that day to vote. But we get prepared for it. We were not deterred at all. We were not afraid of the military. But what we did was to start educating our people, start telling our supporters, look, when you see military and policemen that day, don't be afraid. They are here to protect our vote. They are here to make sure that nobody carry our ballot boxes, nobody snatch our ballot boxes, nobody alter the figures, because that is how they normally do it. They will go to the counties, when they are counting, they come with all sorts of things. Then they alter the figure, they carry the ballot boxes and put in the one they templated, because that was, it almost happened where we were, but we had to resist. We had to resist it. So this thing was, we've already informed our people. I think that was what really some of the courage of the people of Edo State, to ensure that day we told them, look, come out. When you see a soldier, with a gun, don't be afraid. When you see a policeman with a gun, don't be afraid. Just come out, cast your vote. Stay behind. Make sure that they count that vote. After counting the vote, then the scores before you leave the field. I think that was really the information we passed across to the voters. And we trust you to know that some of them, because of this information, some of them had to come with food to the field. They come with food and water to ensure that they were not distracted to say, oh, well, I'm hungry.
I need to eat.
I need to eat. You can imagine from 8 o'clock till around 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. People were still there until when their results were declared. I think this was and many other things. The reason why you see we had the upper hand.
We did see. Okay, well, now finally, what is your counsel really to the political leadership in Nigeria in emulating the service and commitment to the people, as we have seen demonstrated by Adams Oshiomhole? What's your counsel?
Yeah, thank you very much. My counsel is, look, the Bible says, when the righteous are in power, the people rejoice. I always say that if we have people like, leaders like, not rulers. We have rulers, we have leaders.
We do.
Yeah, people like Oshiomhole, Governor Fashola, the then Governor Tinubu, our great father in the party, most of all the ACN states, if we have just about 20 leaders like that in this country, Nigeria, will be a better place to live. My advice to them is to go to these men that are sent, by God, to administer this country, to emulate them, particularly the states where some of the states where the PDPs are having their governors. I think it's a high time. This country is a rich country. Nigeria is a rich country. With the resources we have in this country, if we have a good leader, we'll be better than America. You've been to America, some of us have been to America. You see that the way God has blessed this country, I have not seen any part of the world where God has so endowed them with this kind of resources. There's no resources, there's no mineral or natural resources you don't have, even human capital. That even China you are talking about, that per capital economy and say, oh, where they are the highest today and so on and so forth. They don't even have the 1/3 of what we have in this country because we don't have good leaders. For the first time, that is why there is hope for this country. For the first time, you are seeing, you know, a generational change. I see it as a generational change. Look at the age of Governor Fashola. Look at the age of Adams Aliyu Oshomole. Just look at them. If we have that kind of people and persons in power today as the president of this country, I can assure you that this country, Nigeria, will be able to account for the resources we have in this country. We'll be able to administer judiciously, you know, the resources of this country to the citizens of this country. You know, you forgot that I'm in charge of budget in Edo State, budget and planning in Edo State. Maybe because of the time, you would have asked, how do you manage to get resources to carry out this project? You know, you've been executing in the states. You know, I will tell you, you know, prudent management, you know, check and balances. Because when I newly assumed office in that budget ministry, the first thing the comrade governor told me, said, look, you have to come to Lagos State, go to your colleague there. I've spoken with the governor there. Go to your colleague there. Go there and let him give you some tutorial.
Okay.
Exactly. That is, you know, I came to Lagos State. I was here for a week. You know, I was in Lagos State for a week. Then I was able to understudy what is going on here. Look at the little, when we came in, the IGR was more or less zero. But today, whether we have anything from the FAC or not, for the first time in Edo State, no salary be owed to any worker. We used to have what we call zero allocation. Okay. Well, I know because of time, I will not be able to go through that. I think they should, my final advice to our leaders in this country is to give a chance to the new generation, the upcoming generation, that have something to offer to this country.
Okay, well, give a chance to the upcoming generation, give a chance to good governance. And what has happened in Edo State is a clear indication that things are really changing. People are beginning to identify with the deeds that they can see, positive deeds, good governance that they can see. And once that happens, they are always going to stand by you. It does not matter who you are. So you find that people are voting for a person, for an individual, instead of really voting for the party. And that is what it is all about. Well, we have been looking at Edo State. We've been looking at a new dawn in Edo State, celebrating a new dawn. And we did have the pleasure of talking with Honorable Chris Ebare, who is the Commissioner for Budget Planning and Economic Development in Edo State. Thank you very much for finding the time to come today.
I think we would have actually said Deacon Chris Ebare because I'm in the studio. That is why I could not really utter it because, yes, I'm first of all a deacon before a commissioner. Okay,
that is very, very significant. First of all, a deacon, but it's good also to know that, and like you rightly said, you know, righteousness does exalt a nation, and we're not losing sight of that at all. Well, it has been Let's Talk, and we had a great time. I'm hoping that you did have a great time as well. Join us again, same time next week, actually, for another edition of the show.
You're welcome to Let's Talk.
To sit down and talk. We need to sit down and talk. How Nigeria should be done. How we're going to do our job.
We want to stand up and say no to corruption. We're going to do our job because you're telling the system. You are not just doing good for yourself or for the nation alone. You also do good for the future.
Boko Haram is an attack. It's a spiritual attack. It's a satanic attack on Nigeria. We must, if we come to recognize it, we will understand then how to look for the solution.
The Sovereign National Conference, how do we want to achieve that in our present system? We need to sit down and iron out how Nigeria should be governed